Hello, my name is Sean Longstreet and I'm the Associate Director here at the Teaching, Learning and Technology Center at the University of California, Irvine. It's my privilege today to welcome Dr. Greg Knese to talk with us about his teaching at UCI. Dr. Knese, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
All right. So, for a little bit of background, can you tell us about some of the math courses that you teach here at UCI?
Well, so far I've taught Math 2B and 2D. Currently the one I'm teaching is 2D, which is about the ideas in calculus for functions of more than one variable. Some of the things we do is find the volumes of odd shapes and that sort of thing.
Okay, all right. Now, one of the things that you've incorporated in your teaching here in your Math 2B and Math 2D courses is a blog. People don't usually think of blogs when they're thinking of learning math. So why is it that you've incorporated a blog into your course?
Well, I'm not using a blog in maybe the traditional sense of posting pieces of my opinion or anything like that. I'm sort of hijacking the features of a blog. I like the comment features that students can post comments or questions about things in class, and I can respond to it, and everyone can see my answer, which is nice. You don't have to answer multiple emails, for instance, and students can also see that other students do have questions, and that's useful. I can also embed multimedia things very easily, and the whole website design is much easier. I don't have to worry about designing a website myself because I'm using a specific blog website.
Okay, and you use?
I use WordPress.
WordPress, okay, thanks. So let's talk a little bit about your multimedia. So you incorporate actually video podcasts on a regular basis in your course. And in fact, you can be found on YouTube as Math2B Prof.
That's true.
So Math2B Prof, all right. And so what is the content of the video podcasts, and what do you hope the students gain from watching these video podcasts?
Well, for this course, my intention is mostly to have just one 10-minute video that the students can watch before lecture to give them the basic definitions and ideas for the lecture that's going to come. My hope is that they can just get familiar with some of the ideas so that when they're in class they're more able to ask a question, maybe just to be more conversant with the ideas at least, so that you can maybe dig into harder problems in class. And that's the main approach I'm taking.
So then the video podcasts are to provide orientation and also to prime the students so that when they come to class they're prepared, and then you can start working on more advanced concepts?
Yes, that's the hope I have. Okay. And they can also use these videos later on to review things that when they're studying for exams or anything.
Okay. So what type of reaction are you getting from your students in terms of these video podcasts?
Well, it's been completely positive. I haven't, I mean, they're not forced to watch them, so certainly no one can tell me they hate my videos, but the only complaints I've had is that I'm not making enough. I think the students really enjoy them. It's a really nice format where they can take things at their own pace maybe, or rewind if they have trouble with something.
Mm-hmm. And how often are you making the podcasts?
Well, I make a whole bunch in one go, but it's sort of one 10-minute video per lecture, but I can make 3 of these at once, and that covers a whole week. So. Okay.
And I've noticed too that in your podcast that you've injected some bits of humor. How has that gone for you? Have the students also been on board with that as well, or?
Well, I don't know if they have the same sense of humor as me, but initially I was just experimenting with the features of the movie editing software, adding in laugh tracks at places that certainly weren't funny.
And so what is it that you like most about the creating the podcasts?
I like, it's fun to do it. I mean, but on the other hand, it also helps clarify my thinking in many ways. You have to really focus to make sure you say the right thing. I don't script any of my videos ahead of time, so I have to have a clear idea of what I want to say. So I think it helps me in lecture even, and that's something, I don't know if enjoy is the right word. It's very, it's sort of good training for my lecturing ability, and I'm glad that it helps many students.
Okay. So what advice would you give to another faculty member who was thinking about using a video podcast in their course?
I would probably advise them to have a clear idea of what they want to do with the videos, first of all, and maybe try not to bite off too much in the videos. You know, YouTube only allows you 10 minutes, so you have to sort of focus on what you want to say. I myself have this tendency maybe to go beyond the 10 minutes because there are so many things you could say, but often it's not the best strategy for learning to say as many things as possible in a 10-minute span. So that's the advice I would get. Really focus on what you want to do with them and try not to do too much with any one video.
Okay. So one final question. So you've used video podcasts for your math teaching. Do you see applications for it in other venues?
Well, one idea I originally had was possibly to use this in research. I mean, any academic wants people to read their work, and I think it might encourage more people to look at the things I do if maybe I made detailed videos on the things I do. I mean, you know, I'm not saying people would go out of their way to look at videos of my research, but it certainly would be easier for them to do that possibly than to dive into a long paper or something.
All right, great. Well, thank you. Greg, I appreciate your time. Thank you for talking with us about your
thanks.
courses and using podcasts in a blog. And I hope others can learn more from you.
Yes, thanks for having me. It's been fun.
Great.